Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you the reaction settings for Smart AI. So I've just got my AI in here and I'm going to select him and select our BP AI component, and then we're going to search for default reaction, and here we have our reaction settings. So I'm just going to hide some of these for now and we'll go through them together. So our first setting is use general settings. So basically every behavior has its own reaction setting variable, just like this. And if this is enabled, it means that the system will use that behavior's reaction settings instead of the default reaction settings. So if I was to do something like search for Roam reaction, you can see that we've got our Roam reactions here. And if I have used general settings enabled, this will be used when the AI is in Roam behavior. So I'm just going to go back to our default reactions and hide these a moment. Next, we've got our audio reactions, so we can enable that here. And in the audio reactions array, we can drop that down and click it again. And here we've got how the AI will react to certain audio. So we have our tags here, so you can see we've got one for gun. So any audio that's played with a tag set to it of gun, this AI will react by fleeing from it. So we can add additional tags, so we could say gun, explosion, and so on. And if the AI hears any sounds with those tags, he will flee. Or we can set any behavior we like, and that's how the AI will respond to those sounds. Next we have is response temporary. So if our AI, for example, goes into a search mode, if this is true, that means that that behavior is temporary and it will last as long as our temporary time. Cancel override behavior will cancel, for example, if the AI is in an attack mode, if it's fleeing, hiding, or if it's disabled. If this is enabled, it will override those behaviors. If you hover over the cancel override behavior, it actually gives you an explanation of the behaviors that will that are considered override. Next we have animations and audio, and these are used if our response is animation or audio. And the last setting is our ignore react cooldown. This is used so that the AI doesn't react to the same, so in this case it would be an audio. If there's a lot of gunfire, the AI wouldn't be constantly reacting to that. There's a cooldown. If this is enabled, the AI will react every single time to, say, a gunshot. Generally you want to keep this disabled, but it's an option there if you want to enable it. Next up is our site reactions. So we have a use site reaction here, that if we enable, our AI will use these site reactions now. And we can drop that down and you'll see it's exactly the same as our audio reactions up here. The only difference is the tags are now, if the AI sees an actor that has a tag, for example zombie, it will react with our response. So again, it's set to flee, and the following settings are all the same, all behave the same, just they apply to our site reactions over here. So next we can go to damage reactions. So again, we can enable damage reaction, and you'll see once again that it's the same settings again. So reaction tags would be if the AI takes damage from a zombie, it will flee. So again, all the settings are the same here. If you have animations set, it will use the animations. If audio, it will use audio. Next up we have our use aim focus reactions. So this is used if I can actually show you an example, I believe, over here. So we'll just hit play at current location. I'll hit play and we will go into this room. And so this AI is set to play an animation when aimed at by the player. So we'll aim at him and he'll put his hands up. And if we go over here, this AI is set to attack if it's aimed at by the player. So I'll hold right mouse button and now he's going to attack me. So those settings are, I'll show you now. We can see that he's using use aim focus reactions is enabled. Aim focus requires sight, so if I was behind the AI and he couldn't see me and I aimed at him, he wouldn't react if this is enabled. And then in here we can find our reaction settings. So again, if the AI is being aimed at by an actor with the player tag, the AI's behavior will change to attack. We've got it to cancel override behaviors, so no matter what this AI was doing, it will be cancelled and it will go into an attack mode. And we're ignoring cooldown settings here. So that's our aimed focus reactions. Next we have our animation behavior transition. So these are basically used when a behavior ends. So for example, if we were going from roam to search, you could play an animation at the end of the roam behavior here. So you'd have an animation set. And then for the search behavior, you could have an animation set for the start montage. So the AI will play its roam end animation, then play its search start animation, and then would continue with its search behavior. And then exactly the same thing with the audio transitions. You can set a start and end audio for when behaviors end and start. So that's pretty much all of our reaction settings. As I said earlier, each behavior has a reaction setting. So these are just the default ones that are used if the behavior isn't using its reaction settings. So we can say look at flee. We've got our flee animation settings, but because we're not using the general settings, when the AI is in flee, it will use our default reaction settings instead of our flee ones. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions or problems, just leave a comment or join our Discord and I'll do my best to explain to you anything you need to know. So thank you for watching.